what would you do if you wanted to make some extra pocket money and sell something but wasn't sure what? Or what if you did finally get the idea for your product but realized you couldn't sew a stitch and had to get help to make your product? Or that people you approached laughed at you when you said you wanted to create a product that was easily available in the supermarkets? These were some of the challenges that Anja Juliah Abu Bakar faced when she decided to start a business that sells washable cloth pads. Welcome to the Womenpreneur Asia podcast, and I'm your host, Krista Good. Today, I'm speaking with Malaysian entrepreneur Anja Juliah Abu Bakar. She is the founder of Blubear Holdings, a social enterprise that sells washable cloth pads and many other eco-friendly products. Her journey as an entrepreneur has many twists and turns, some hilarious and others quite heartbreaking. In this interview, she also talks about what it means to be a social enterprise and what shifted the balance for her in her entrepreneurial life. I enjoy speaking to Anja because, as you will hear, she is one persistent woman. She never gave up despite criticism and negative feedback. She tells an interesting story of how she managed to secure a sale in Paris, and that trip, which she didn't even have the money for, transformed her business. I hope you enjoy Anja's story as much as I did. Welcome to the Womenpreneur Asia podcast. Welcome, Anja.
Hi, thank you, Krista.
Hi, Anja. So where are you today? Which part of Malaysia are you in?
I just had finished meeting with my client at Menara Tabung Haji. So I asked for their permission to allow me to use one of the meeting room just for these purposes.
Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad you actually had the opportunity to, come on board on our podcast. So let us start with one very basic question. Who is Anja Juliah Abu Bakar?
Okay, Anja Juliah Abu Bakar. She's a dreamer until her friends call her their berangan coach.
Okay.
But it's actually positive. I take it as a positive because I think I should myself as a visionary. But it's not like a vision without purpose. It's all berangan with purpose. That's my tagline. When you want to berangan with purpose, meaning you know the flow to reach your goal, to reach your dream. Because once you have your dream, when you have your ultimate vision, then you need to have a goal to reach your destination lah. That's Anja Juliah. That I'm very clear where am I in next 20-30 years ke, and I'm opening create the path so that I hit certain goals, and I know that ultimately I want to reach this vision.
Okay. So now let's talk about something that's very close to your heart, right? Mm-hmm. You started a social enterprise that focuses on reusable and eco-friendly sanitary pads for girls and women. So how did you get the inspiration for this business?
All right. I was working with one oil and gas company, a multinational company, and I just somehow love to do something like want to do like a business, something to do like just to have extra pocket money. Not that I don't have like enough. I'm actually in good position, which not require me to do any side business at all. But it's just that nature that I like to sell something, just want to make extra money. And that back then, somewhere in 2004, 2005, I like 2-3 months before fasting month, I will go to Vietnam, I go to Indonesia, particularly like Bandung, to buy materials like fabric, textile, telekong, and sell them. So that by fasting month, before fasting month, I already sell the thing and make some money. And back then, I already have the dreams that I want to become filthy rich. I want to become a businesswoman and become filthy rich. But then I talked to myself, but I don't want to be known as makcik jual kain. And I'm like selling kain for like forever. So I want to do something like more meaningful. and the business will really help more people. That's the idea that I have back then. But I totally have no idea what business that I'm going to do until when my ex-lecturer, because I studied in UTM, I graduated in human resource. My lecturer contacted me, said somewhere early 2007, he said, hey Anja, there's a book that I totally highly recommend you to read, a book called Blue Ocean Strategy. And I said, why? Because he said something that I like to think forward, think like big. I mean, he knows that I'm a visionary. He said, this book is really good for you since you also mentioned you want to do business. So I read that book really and give me a lot of inspirational. And somehow along also another opening, like I want to do something different, but I don't know what product. And in the same year, my husband was transferred to Johor, and because we don't have kids, so I have a lot of time at night, especially to surf the internet. So while surfing, I end up belong to a women's group, especially mothers group. Back then it's Yahoo group lah, Yahoo chat group, where most the mothers are mothers in the US. And they talk about living healthy, living green, organic, eating natural, eat clean, everything that all the goodness. And until one of the mom announced that she's like happily announced she just made her cloth pack for her 11-year-old daughter. So I was like, why are you making pack for your daughter? Why can't you just buy? But there's new term, cloth pack for me. So I said, I asked her personally, how do you make them? So she shared with me the pattern, which just used from the old t-shirt, just cut it and make it as a sanitary pad. So it's washable. And then suddenly the idea, this is the business that I want to do, the business that can make me filthy rich. The idea back then, I just want to be rich. I want to do something different. And that's when I started to research. I said, this is woman product, and this is like everyone need to use this product. So it's like perfect for me to like get to find new idea. And it took me about 8 months just to research about the material for a product, where I end up found bamboo fabric, learn about bamboo fabric, which is the most best fabric to be used as a part of the material. And then it took me 3 months to find supplier, because I cannot simply purchase from Korea or Japan or China, because they asked me to buy in 1,000 kilo or 10,000 kilo, where I cannot afford to buy at that price. And end up I found a WAM, work at home mom in the US, that can sell me minimum 1 meter. So early 2008, 2007 is like all the research, doing the research work. 2008, somewhere in March, April, I finally contacted the WAM and purchased. I spent 500 ringgit to purchase all the raw material. But then another problem, I don't know how to use sewing machine. And I asked around, I went to few tailors, and they actually laughed at me, because they said, why you want to make a pack? You can just buy. And they refused to do, because they also have no idea how to do it. And until it took me about 1 month plus until someone asked me to meet this guy who used to be a fashion designer, but then because he's actually ex-convict because of drug, but now he have no work, and someone recommended me to see him. He was actually an ex-fashion designer. So
he knows how to sew.
Yeah. Huh?
So he knows how to sew.
Yeah. Designer.
Yeah.
And then, I gave him the material. I gave him a sample. I said, can you help make a sample for me? And he said, okay lah, you come back after a week. So a week later, actually not even 1 week, I went to him and I was so surprised because it's so beautiful, perfect. And he that designed our first pet.
Wow. So it was a man who designed it.
They designed it. And then it reminds me of like Johnson Johnson. I mean, the Cortex all started by men, and my pet is designed by men, a man. And so from that 400 ringgit, he made 37 pieces. And that's when I start to ask around who willing to try the product. And I said, please come back after 3 months because I need to know your feedback. That is the exercise that called validation. But back then, I have no idea what is validation.
And but you actually thought of it, right? Even though you didn't know it was called validation.
Yeah. Because that was somewhere in 2008. And then not even 3 months, they came back to me because these are all my female friends that suffered allergic reactions when they use normal disposable pad, and some of them just want to try. And in return, when they came back to me, they said that they all love it, and they asked when I can start selling it like commercial. So I spent another 2,000 ringgit and made another 150 pieces of pad. That's when I start to sell around. How I approach is I went to all like mothers group and asked them to recommend the product. And finally, the third batch is when I finally opened my online shop on Facebook. 31st October 2009 was my first online shop selling the product. That's how it began.
Okay, so it means that you started by actually testing out the product in the market and getting actual feedback from the users before you even attempted to produce even more of the products to sell. Okay, so I thought that was pretty smart, because most people would just think of like, I have an idea, I just want to directly sell to the market, right? Yeah, that's most what most people think of.
But then it's quite. I'm started to be very busy because after work I need to get some material. I need to go to the community who make the product. I mean, by then I already have to pass to the bigger community to make the product, and until November 2011, when I was challenged by one of the entrepreneurs that they said if I'm still working and do my business issues that I don't have any plan to grow and that I don't have trust with my business. I was actually a bit upset, but it's actually a good challenge. So November 2011, I decided to call to get help, where I finally found a coach from Singapore to help me. So he said, how can he help me? I said, help me so that I can finally resign from my comfort zone, from a good career to become
a good job, right? A good job in all the gas.
I mean, I have not actually. I don't have any complaint, but I really love my old job. Because I have opportunity to travel, a lot of perks lah. But then, but when the dream to become filthy rich is there, so I cannot be rich if I'm still working. So I decided to get his help, and through enough, I met the target every month, and finally June 2012, I decided to resign. Okay. So July, it took me 2 weeks to just to settle, and July is official. I become full-time entrepreneur. Yeah.
Can I ask? What was the impetus for you to find a coach for yourself when you first thought of wanting to get out of your corporate job?
All right. I attended one of the talk by Cradle somewhere in early 2011. and no, 2010. And then he said, it just happened. My friend invited me to attend this talk by Crader, by the CEO, the late CEO, and he said, for an entrepreneur to grow, you have to like expand your network. You need to be like maybe join association. That was his in his advice for entrepreneurs to expand their network and to grow and to seek help from mentors or coaches. That's how I have the idea. And being mingled with entrepreneurs totally changed the way I'm thinking, not from employee side, but more like entrepreneur. So I want to be like, can't wait to become full-time entrepreneur. That's the motivation. And through word of mouth, through my own finding from social media, I found my coach, and that's when he came to Kuala Lumpur and start to plan, help me how I can actually meet my goal to result.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds a very interesting path that you took before you became an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about. But you didn't start out as a social enterprise in the beginning, right?
Conventional, yeah.
Yeah. So when did you change your business model, and why did it happen?
Okay, somewhere in October 2010, way before I resigned, I was actually, I won Malaysia Innovation Award for the product that I create, because although cloth pack is already, known in the US and Europe, but what's unique about our product, because we use bamboo, the rest they use cotton, and the innovation part is from the bamboo fabric that we use. And so I won Malaysia Innovation Award in 2010. And 2011 January, I started to get exposed, and it was actually 2 years, 2011, 2012, where I get really exposure. Got invited by media, television. I think I've been featured in all channels, from magazine, from radio, from like BFM, NST, The Star.
Was that a result of you winning the award, or you actively pursuing the media?
No, I because I have no contact with media, so they actually found me because I was first featured on Utusan in January 2011. So from there, someone called, and from magazine, another reporter saw me, and then from radio interview, another reporter. For the next 2 years, then I featured on television, RTM, TV3. So that's when more people know about the work that we do, even Astro. And I think when I was featured in New Straits Times, September 2012, I was contacted by a group of missionaries from Sabah, asking if I can sponsor sanitary product, because when they learn about I'm producing washable product, so that's when they interested to know more and ask if I can sponsor. So for me, I'm a bit hesitate, because I was just like 3 months on my own. Like, I don't have a full-time salary. I have to like rely on the sales that I made from selling of the product. So I'm a bit hesitate, because I have no idea that there's an organization asked for free. It's totally new experience to me.
Ask you to sponsor, right? Sponsor them your product.
I was thinking like, one set is already like selling price 180, and my cost is just, I'm already like calculating, should I or just no. But then suddenly my like mini me said that there must be a reason why these people call you. You probably just do your best and like see how. So decided to sponsor all the 33 girls. And December, just a week before Christmas, so all the product arrived, and they are so happy receiving the product. And curiosity, then January I finally decided to go and to dig more for information. That's when I know about the hardship, where the girls who actually really have not enough money to buy, like they are living in a hostel. The hostel is actually built by the missionary, and these kids, they actually live 1 to 2 hours from school. And when I asked, why are you giving excuses not going to school? Because if you can't afford to buy pad, you can actually use you can use towel, tissue. Don't give excuses not going to school. And for them, some of them, they said they only have like 5 ringgit a week. And if that week they have to use that money to buy pad, because in Peninsula, you can get 2 ringgit to buy a pad. But in Sabah, Sarawak, the price is a bit costly. So they said that 5 ringgit, they can actually buy bread that can last them for a week. So they have to make decision. So I was like, at the age of 14, you have to make decision between buying pad and bread. So that is already like, for a girl to make that kind of decision. So they decided not to go to school during when they have period. And another turning point is when this girl, they use coconut husk, they stuff it in old socks as a substitute to sanitary pad. So which is totally, for me, I can't accept. And and being in Malaysia, you meet this kind of girl, have to go through this experience is totally like unacceptable. So I was like, suddenly I feel so grateful that I sponsored the product, and that I'm actually helping them to continue going to school. And that's when.
But you found out about them when you flew to Sabah personally, or you were talking to the missionary. Then you found out how.
No. I interviewed them.
Oh, you interviewed them. Okay.
Yeah. And then I interviewed the parent, the school nurse, the school teacher, just for my own satisfaction. I actually have no intention at all, but just like suddenly I have this curiosity, that I have so many questions, decided to go and just to seek for more information. So it was like totally and I very new experience, totally new, learning so much things. And when I went back to Kuala Lumpur, I decided to run a campaign called Girl Empowerment with the mission to keep girls in school. So I I started with campaign that for every customers who buy our product, a set will be, everyone, a piece will be sponsored to a girl in Sabah. Back then I specific to underprivileged girls. And with the school, how we monitor is that we want to ensure that the absenteeism rate due to period is reduced. Reduced due to, so if the absent is due to other reason, not related to period. So that somehow I feel like a relief to know and to learn that the girls are still using our product.
So was that the time? Was it the time you switched?
No, I fully switched to social enterprise model in July 2015. It took me another 2 years to actually understand, learning about the model, and that's when I decided to that if I want to really grow the business, I cannot do it alone. I need to have partners. So I invited my current 2 partners to join me. So made a good decision by having them, so that we can grow to where we are now today.
Okay. So now I want to ask you also, because you changed from a conventional business to a social enterprise business. So can you tell us a little bit about the differences, what one is and what one isn't? What is a social enterprise?
Okay, like we know, for every businesses, how they get make profit is through selling their product or services. So they make revenue and they can sustain. But for social enterprise, and like myself, social entrepreneur, is an individual who run business and use that profit to help support social issues or community issues or environment issues. So that's the only, you have another purpose. So like normal business, you like focus on 3P, people, planet, and profit. But for social enterprise, there's one more. Purpose. You want to run a purpose. A business with purpose. So that's 4 P's lah for social enterprise. And like social enterprise is a business that that benefit people and environment. That's all about it. I mean, like it's beyond CSR, because CSR, a company can decide whether they want to do CSR or not if they are not making profit. But for social enterprise, it's already embedded. I mean, whether they but when you are run business, it's supposed to be to make profit. You cannot like I mean, maybe someone your sales is not really good, but in the end you must make profit, or else you cannot grow, you cannot sustain.
True.
So I don't want to have this thinking of, oh, we're not making, no, for me in the end I know we're going to make profit. You cannot have or even you cannot have, afford to think that you're not making money. You have to like throw away that thinking, that feeling. So that the aim is that our aim is when we set our KPI is that how many girls or how many women that we want to help. So if we decided to help 2020, we want to reach out to 1,000 girls, 1,000 girls to receive our product, means we have to make sales. I mean, we know how much sales that we need to make in order, how much profit that we need to make in order to sponsor 1,000 girls. So that's the aim. So like from July 2015, when we fully switched to social enterprise, until December 2019, we have sponsored to 1,557 girls. And from consistent monitoring, we have actually helped reduce 467,900 pets to the landfill. And this year, we actually already allocate to sponsor 1,000 girls from previous punya ni lah, profit. So, but due to COVID, we have to postpone the distribution, because we need to also run program with them before we sponsor the product. We need to teach them, educate them, prepare them to use the product.
I also know that you also did a program with the Orang Asli girls in Bukit Chiding in Selangor.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the experience?
All right. Okay, that was actually my first experience doing program with Orang Asli, and it was actually 6-week program, and with 11-year-old kids. And what I learned is they are very shy. They are not open at all, and it took us like on the 4th class, then they start to open. I mean, before that, if I say A, they say A. I say B, they say B. But after 4th or 5th week, when I say A, they say E. They say K. I mean, they start to be more talkative. So how we measure is from the behavior change from, after we run the program, continuous program, because Orang Asli, you cannot do one time. You have to do like maybe 10 or 15 is the ideal number if you want to really help them. So because we can only see that after 6 week, 4th week, and even 5th week, then they started to change. They start to have trust with you, and then so we measure from the behavior change. And when the teacher said that now their energy is already level up, they are more concentrated in the class, because we already like it's not like a normal way motivate them, but I don't know, somehow there's relationship there with the girls, and until today we are still in contact. They still message me.
Yeah, that is fantastic. And I know that because of what you do right now, it is more than just the reusable sanitary products. And it's just gone beyond that. So that's where I think that is really important, right? I mean, it's just more than that. It's about empowerment.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to ask, when you first started, besides I know that you had good response from the women that you validated your products with and all that, but were there any hurdles or any challenges you had in the early beginning? I mean, in the beginning of your enterprise?
Because there's one thing, if I am like can travel back to 2007, 2008 to meet me back then, I will advise that Anja Juliah to stop. Don't even think to go to the entrepreneur world.
Why?
2013, 14, 15, 2013 and 14, where the business really down. I mean, I left my company in July. I like full-time entrepreneur. Then the business like okay until 2013 after the Sabah trip. Then more challenges, and I was really down for like 2 years. I'm almost give up. Not only because the like not receive support, even the sales so not so good, because like why the sale was good, because people like want to know and they purchase, but then there's no repeat. They don't see why they should like suddenly switch from throwaway culture to reusable, then they move back to throwaway. And they start a few negative comment about some of them said not hygienic, so the sale really dropped. And I was like, there's no sale, but somehow I said maybe there's no market for this product in Malaysia yet. But so I decided maybe this is meant for international user. That's when I started to use eBay, Alibaba to sell the product, and that's when I started to get distributor agent from Australia, from the state. In fact, I contacted all the moms, the one that I've been like followed from the Yahoo group, for give them samples, and from that sample they want to become agent. So that's how it started. Why I started to increase my customers from abroad, not in Malaysia. And 2015, when I started to pitch the business to get investor, I like 2014, 15 is the year where I just go to any pitching event to pitch about my product, because we the need to get investor to come in, because by then I think we think we already that ready to grow, and we need investor to come in. And
so you needed capital for the business.
Yeah. So I was asked by one of the, there's a few investors during that event, and one of them actually came to me and asked me, how many family members or your close friend buy your product? I was like so honest. I said no. And then I won't invest in your company because it seems that even your family members and close friends didn't buy your product. I was like a bit shocked, because I was like totally honest to him, but to receive that kind of feedback was like, wow. I mean, like I'm a bit like speechless. But then I immediately respond to him. I said, yeah, I know that I'm aware that none of my family members, except my mother and mother-in-law, use my product. It won't because I give them for free, but not my sisters want to use my product. But I said, why do I need to worry with say 100 people from my family and friends if I have 10 million customers out there?
Yeah.
Investor said, like he didn't trust me because even my family member didn't want to buy. So I said, why do I have to worry even if I have 100 people in my family and friends don't want to use my product? If I have 10, I should worry about 10 million users out there. So I should concentrate on that 10 million users rather than my own family and friends. So, I mean, I cannot like simply accept their comment or condemn. Life must go on. So I know that I believe in my product and I should like protect my product. So, but finally, we get a VC that happily invest with the business because they believe on a girls' education, on the cost, the social cost that we want to support.
Okay, so finally you got your investor.
Yeah.
So then in that case, let's come back to this issue of changing mindsets, right? Because we talk about reusable products. And this one is a sanitary pad. And of course, there's always, we're so used to convenience, right? We're so used to throw away pads. So in terms of, you've been in business for a while now, have you seen any change of mindset or any difference in the women talking about this kind of products now versus when you first started?
I can see that I'm more firm in making decision. First of all, before you want to empower others, you have to empower yourself.
And true.
Then you have to also do a lot of reflection. I mean, the way I motivate myself is by doing reflection. That I know I'm good in marketing, but I'm good in running a business. So if I want to call myself a CEO, what skill do I need? So what I did, I actually I said, if you want to be a good CEO, you must learn from the good CEO. For me, my ideal CEO will be still a female CEO. So what it just happened that I read an article about this Tan Sri Datuk Paduka Siti Sadia, the CEO of KPJ. She just won Malaysia CEO Award. And I said, maybe she's the perfect teacher. Somehow, after I realized that I want to be, she's my idol, and through one event, I met her. So I went straight away, approached her. I said, Datuk Paduka, I just introduced myself. I said the reason why I want to make an appointment to see you is because I need your help to teach me how to become a good CEO. She was like a bit surprised, but then she welcomed the idea and said, why don't you come to my office next week? So it was Friday, and on Monday morning, I went to KPG HQ. And I told the receptionist, I want to meet Datuk Paduka because she said I can just come and to her office. So they said, do I have appointment? I said, no, because she said I can just come to her office. And then the secretary I said, I met Datuk Paduka last Friday and she said I can just drop by if I'm around. And so she was like, I didn't make any call. I just go. And then she went to see us for Datuk Paduka and she said, okay, just tell her Anja from the last Friday's event is here. So she called me and I met Datuk Paduka. Now Tan Sri. And I said maybe it's like a short chat, and we spent 2 hours.
So wow, that was a short. That's not very short. That's a very long chat.
Yeah, and her advice that I still remember is that to be a good CEO, you don't have to be to know everything. You don't have to be an accountant to be a good CEO. You don't have to be, for whatever reason. And she said, all you need to have a good skill of reading financial statement. You need to be alert of certain numbers. You need to at least have the skill of to know numbers. That was her advice. The best thing is to hire good people, and you are responsible to understand when they pass to you the statement. You need to understand when you read the statement. So that was her advice. It was for me. Because I was quite scared because I have no idea how to be a good CEO. You can have that title, but title is just title, but the responsible holding the title is different thing. Because if you really serious want to grow business, you have to be competent. But then I still struggle until I found my partner. I approached there's two of them. Separate. I approached these two ladies, And now one of them is actually holding the CEO because her strength is more on operation and in running the day-to-day business. So now I'm happy that I'm focused on marketing and on my community outreach.
Okay. But I like how you were very brave to actually go up to her and ask to see her, because you recognize that there was something in her that you wanted to learn from.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something that we all need to know, isn't it? Like there are certain things that we need to learn, certain things that we need to be able to do in order to move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let us talk about the name Athena. Why the name Athena? That's the name of your product, right? The brand, right? The brand under your company.
Yeah. When I started back in 2009, the product is called Blue Cotton. Being because blue inspired by Blue Ocean strategy. And cotton because I somehow there's no people in the world allergic with cotton. That's the real reason behind the name. But then when I have these two partners, they said if you want us to join, we want to start back from scratch. I mean from zero. We don't want to use the old name. So I closed the company and reopen new company. And use Athena as a brand, because that through my like all the challenges promoting the product, I told them I realized that it's easy to convince young girl rather than convince a parent like our age, because we go throw away culture kan, like we use disposable and suddenly them to switch, which really hard. But I realized when I do program with young at the age of say 11, 12, and I show the pretty prints to them, they like openly want to buy the product. And I said, okay, I leave you forms. Maybe you can then tell your parent how much, how much money you need to buy the product. So they are the one that decide to use the product. So somehow we empower them to know what's best for them, for the environment, and empower them to make decision that is good for their body. So then we realize better we convince the girl, educate the girl and empower them to make good decision. That's the reason why we pick Athena. And actually Athena, of course, right, we know is a female. Goddess from Greek, but Athena is also meant wise, and in Arabic. Also, Athena means something like wise, something like feminine, related to
women.
So we decided to use Athena, which symbolizes wisdom and strength. And we want our girl to be confident, to know their right, and to respect others and make good decisions.
Okay. Oh, that's a wonderful origin for the brand, right? The brand. Okay, so besides reusable sanitary pads, right, you also produce reusable baby diapers, reusable nursing pads, reusable adult incontinence pants, and also I think since this COVID-19 pandemic, you also produce face masks, right?
Yeah.
So what are the products are in the pipeline under the Athena brand or coming up?
Okay, diaper was actually baby diaper lah. Maybe I can say this because we realized our strength is on sanitary product, not baby diaper, and we decided to sell all at cost price. We actually don't sell of baby diaper, but we feel it as because we have the capacity in producing them, so we OEM manufacturer for another entrepreneur business that want to focus on baby diapers. So we actually make for them using then they use their own brand lah. But for adult diaper, we have very good new market. We managed to enter new segment. So we maintain under Athena, except the baby diaper. Now we do it for other company. And next is Q4 this year. We're going to embark on creating social factory, social manufacturing, where we plan throughout 2020, Q4 2020 until Q2 2022, is to have this 10 social factory in 10 location, especially rural location, where we're going to train the local to produce their own product. I mean, what we're going to do is that we set up the factory, we train the local, orang asli ke rural in Sabah Sarawak. The location is based on the raw material, because we use waste from plant like banana.
Okay.
So they will get the raw material. So we buy that raw material. We also supply some raw materials to make the sanitary product. It will be disposable pad, but it's biodegradable sanitary organic. I can say biodegradable disposable pad, because it will degrade in 6 months compared to commercial within 500 years kan disposable plastic. So what the plan is that when the community get the raw material, we will buy the raw material so they can produce. So 100% of the output of the product, we will buy back. So they don't have to worry how to sell, but they have to actually start their own business and hire their own people. We will act like their mentor as well, the buyer of the finished product lah. And we will do the packaging and sell retail. It will be a totally new market, because we'll be selling biodegradable disposable pad, which actually new market, but the demand is there.
Okay. But how does that, will that eat into your own market for the reusable sanitary pads, or will that be not an issue?
Different segment, because we have built for the past 10 years, already have our followers, especially our distributor in other countries. Our consumer customers are more from zero waste communities, those yang environment conscious. So we already penetrate to that segment. So this is totally another segment whereby we still have a user who wants to go into environment, but cannot change to the washable concept. So they want to, but in the same time they also cannot force themselves to use the cloth pad, the washable pad.
I see. Okay.
So we market.
So basically, you're penetrating a different market segment.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's a lot of things that you are doing for now and into the future. So one of the questions I'm very curious to know is, what was the most memorable thing you had to do for Athena? Or what was the craziest, if you have ever had a craziest moment?
Okay. Remember I said that 2013-14 was the year that I was really down and almost give up with the business. This social enterprise idea was really crazy, because how I got the idea is after only a week or 2 weeks after return from Sabah, I got this invitation to UKM, where that was the first time I met Prof. Muhammad Yunus, the guru of social business. And he was the one that introduced me to social enterprise world. So I heard from him, I went back and Google, and back then my understanding about social enterprise is like CSR. So my mistake was I started to sell to corporate with the idea that corporate will buy in bulk, so I don't have to struggle selling to individual. So that was the idea. hold on. So that was the early idea, but it be a failed idea where I was like too focused approaching corporate, but none of them buy. They said, why do they need to sponsor the pet, and why they must sponsor? I mean, it's not sexy to them.
Yeah.
That probably is not sexy at all. But I was like too like, I don't know, still blinded with that idea to continue approach more corporate, because I told myself, maybe I have to work out on my pitch. Maybe there's something wrong with my pitch that they don't buy the idea, which is true. It actually, I failed for 18 months until I realized I have no more stocks for my product, because I keep on sell, but I didn't buy the raw material. I'm too focused in selling to corporate.
Okay.
Then by February 2014, after almost like 10 months failed, I said, there must be something wrong with my approach to corporate. And I still don't want to give up. Most of my close friends, you should stop with this idea of approaching corporate. Just focus with your retail. You're already doing good with that retail. I said, no, I'm not happy. There must be something else. Until when I was actually quite upset, and I start to Google. I mean, that's how I motivate myself. Just Google, and I suddenly saw this advertisement. There's a conference in France, and why interests me, because the conference is about social CSR, where they're going to gather 1,000 CSR directors from all over the world in France. And I want to go to that conference, because there will be my future client for my CSR project. And then I realized I need to register by April, make payment by April, so that I can go to the event in June. So I managed to register. So the deadline to make full payment is by early April. And then I realized that I only have 2,000 ringgit in my bank account. So how can I go to France where the cost is about 6,000-7,000 when you have 2,000 in your bank account? So I said
but nothing stopped Anja, right?
I hope I visualize in Paris, so I must do something to go to Paris. And I know I thank myself for all the network that I have made. So I have a friend who do traveling business. I went to her. I said, look, this is my last chance. I need to prove. If I fail, I will totally like forget about the CSR thing. I will, because she's also one of my friends that advised me to stop the CSR thing and focus on retail. So she said, okay, you promise if it's fail, focus on retail. Don't ever talk about CSR. I said, yes, I promise. So she helped buy the flight ticket, and in June I already in France.
And you've got to meet all the people that you wanted to meet.
So from the 2,000 I have in bank account, I withdraw 1,000. I changed to euro. I only have 220 euro. But prior to going to France, I do my homework. So I think this is how it works. I mean, luck will only happen if you work really hard and smart. So what I did 2 months before going, after I settled everything, after booking is confirmed, so I do some study and research what company that I want to approach in Paris that have offices in Kuala Lumpur, those multiple companies. So I have a list, and I said, Anja, if you by June, if you are there, you cannot make afford to not meeting these people, and when you have this opportunity to meet these people, you cannot afford to not do anything. So I already list the companies that I want to see. I already list all the name. In fact, I forced myself to photography memory all this person, from the CEO to the CSR director. I mean, I forced myself to remember their face. And when I'm in Paris, the first company in my first on my first list too, when I entered the building, you know who I bumped with the group CEO.
Wow.
And of course, I know, I already memorized his face. So I said, it's just like I want to approach the reception to go to the department, but there he is, like walking at the lobby. So I said, "This is your chance. You cannot afford to panic." I actually panic, but I cannot allow myself to panic. I went to him. I said, "Hi, Mr. Pilenko. I'm Anja from Kuala Lumpur." That's the first word that I remembered. He was also shocked. Who is this Asian lady, hijab lady? Went to and suddenly from Kuala Lumpur. But because I already follow him, in LinkedIn, I know that he used to base in Indonesia. So his response was, "Oh, selamat sore," which means because he based in Indonesia before. So he's asked, "What can I do? How can I help you?" I said, "Well, since I meet you here, would you mind to help introduce me to your CSR person in charge of CSR, corporate com director or the CSR director?" So it's like for him, it was like a sudden approach by a foreign, and someone stranger that asked him to instruct him to introduce some this to me. But being a group CEO, maybe he also want to be polite, so he called the lady from the com to come down. So then when the lady arrived at the lobby, he said, "Okay, what was your name?" "Anja." "Anja, this is Kole. She's the regional CSR director for the company, for the country, for global CSR director." And and then he excused himself. And this lady also like, "Who is this person? Like, make my boss call me to come down and see her." So she said, "I'm in the middle of something, but if you really have something important, I only have 5 minutes." So I know I have to stay calm, and I said, "Thank you again. I'm just introduce myself. I'm Anja and I'm from Kuala Lumpur. And do you know that in Malaysia we have 15,000 Malaysian girls miss 5 to 7 days of school in a month when they have their period because they can't afford to buy sanitary pad." That was the only piece that I remember. I don't know, 15, 20-second piece. And suddenly there's a pause. So the person, she said, "What was your name again?" "Anja." "Anja?" He said, "I was there. I used to be the girl that missed school because I can't afford to buy sanitary pad." So it was like
wow, it hit home.
Yeah. Like suddenly both of us like a bit like silent. And suddenly I see her eyes like suddenly remember something. And I was like, I don't know, I'm in a mixed feeling by then. It suddenly happened. Like she experienced that. She said, "I'm from actually a poor family. And now she's the global CSR director for this big multinational company." And that 5 minutes become 1 hour. She invited me to her office and we talked. And now one of my close friends, we are very close actually until today. And 3 months later, I received a PO that I closed at €25,000.
Wow.
First sale, my first finally, I managed to close the deal in France. And then, finally I managed to pay back my friend. And after that, I closed few deal with few other companies when I was in France because I keep follow up. But this the unique is about how I got the deal. She suddenly have that story, and she had that experience, and I think after that, then I started to get a lot of job with corporate.
So in the end, you made your CSR adventure pay off.
Yeah.
Fine. So how about your friend, the one in the travel industry, the one who got you the ticket to go? So you kind of proved her a little bit wrong, right?
Because I said maybe it's not meant for Malaysian. Maybe it's not that I'm blaming the Malaysian company. Maybe my pitch is not right. Maybe so I focus a lot more in practicing my pitching skill and more. how from that piece I actually match the value of the company. Not so much, I mean, I cannot like now thinking that I'm providing good, but how I can add value to that organization by doing a sustainable and impactful CSR program. Also, that's my key word, that I'm actually offering a sustainable and high impact CSR program.
Yeah, okay. So I'm glad it turned out well for you, even though in the initial part it was a bit difficult, right, to get from here to France. Okay, so
Yeah.
now we're almost at the end. I want to ask you one last question. What's the one key takeaway that you want our listeners to remember as a result of listening to your interview and your story today?
I think as an individual, as a person, you need to know what's your vision. I mean, now that I'm very clear what I want to be and where I want to. In next 5-20 years. So, but if some people they are, hard to know what they want to be. In next 10-20 years, at least you start is what you want, what actually you want in life. If you want to be happy, what makes you happy? So focus on that, so that it will actually help you to reach to your vision, whatever that your dream. So it's good to have dream, and if you want to dream with purpose, and having a dream that you know that is going to make you happy. Itulah, simple aja.
Okay, and final one, where can people find you or your company online? Any places that you hang out particularly online?
Our product is available in Watson online. We also, kalau physical, we are with Royal Pharma Pharmacies. We also with in a lot of independent pharmacies and clinic. But you can buy online via athenaempowers.com. You can go to our e-commerce lah. Or you can also contact me via my Facebook. And frankly, Krista, I'm actually not so open to this online interview, because I'm having my own what happened actually. I want to do an implant. The implant supposed to siap in end March. So prior to do that, I need to remove all my. You want to become cantik kan? So you do anything to me. So by January, remove everything in order to start the implant on 29 March. But when COVID happened, I cannot go to do my implant. So my doctor to reschedule until that is the date now. So I decided to not go online because of my condition. But then friends started to like said, you are out there empowering women and you yourself not empowered. So now I'm challenging myself, okay, I'm going to accept whatever happened. So this will be history that I am already empowered myself. What I'm wearing is my confidence. I don't care whether how I look at myself. But now that I hope that whatever I share will benefit the listener.
Wow. I think that is also a good way. I'm glad you are honest and you talked about that, even though it's something that nobody wants to, share their deepest concerns or deepest fears or deepest worries, right? And I'm glad you shared that. I really am very thankful for that. So thank you so much for a wonderful interview.
Yeah,
thank you for actually telling me a lot more of the stories, because I really like your France story. I think it's really memorable. It also really shows that you're so persistent. You really want to go for your dream, no matter what it takes.
Yeah, and never in my life doing my work got me invitation to the White House, which is, I have that dream, but never in my life I thought we're going to be that soon.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, tell us about the White House.
No, they recognize me from the work I do with the women economic empowerment, and actually through social media, they didn't they have shortlist. I think 2,000 women worldwide, but end up 18 of us got invited to the White House, hosted by Ivanka Trump herself. So I'm ambassador for women economic empowerment for Malaysia. Where I have actually a lot of things on my plate to work on.
Wow, I'm so glad. You see, I started out with a list of questions I wanted to ask you, but our conversation became so interesting that I didn't have time to ask the other questions.
Maybe some other day that
yes, definitely. We can definitely continue this conversation for another episode, because I think you have a lot more interesting stories to share with everyone, especially the things that you did not only for yourself but also the things that you're doing for girls. That is very important to help them gain and develop confidence in the world. Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you for your time and for sharing. So we'll see you again.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode. Find all the details on our website, womenpreneurasia.com. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. If you have already subscribed, please rate and review our podcast on wherever you listen to podcasts. And also, please share this podcast with someone whom you feel will be able to benefit from this podcast. Next week will be episode 13, and it will be the final episode for season 1. And I would like to cap the final episode of the season with my own story and journey. I've done many things that I've enjoyed, and I've also done things that I've feared. The podcast that you are listening to right now has been one of those things that I've feared. I had a dream of starting a podcast as far back as 2016, but it wasn't until this year, 2020, that I managed to make this a reality. If you have listened to all, if not most of the episodes, I thank you for being my greatest cheerleader and listener and coming along on this journey with me. You have kept me chugging along in spite of the fears and procrastination. If you have enjoyed these interviews, please email me and let me know. I am at info@womenpreneurasia.com, and I will see you in my next episode.